We're live on YouTube. Before we get started, if you want to throw a comment up there, you can win a Rita's gift card.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds pretty good, right?
Dude, I was just looking at the Rita's website. Delicious.
I was going to say, was there anything else of that? I was just looking at the website.
I was just looking, man. I'm just letting you know
Just
what I'm doing
browsing,
over
just
here on this
browsing.
side of the table.
Just
looking.
Just looking.
I was just looking.
Sounds like my other job.
YouTube, you guys are messing me up because normally during the commercial break, I like to get all my curses out since I can't say them on the radio, but I was told by the boss that I have to behave now.
Yeah, you have to behave.
I'm restricted.
All right.
But hey, man, win yourself some Ritas. Like and subscribe. We ready?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to The Divide with Mike and Corey.
Hopefully our disagreements one day bring us all together.
So stupid. So corny and so stupid. I hope our disagreements bring us together.
Yeah, I do.
Shut up, Porter. Hey, I'm just trying to have a little friendly conversation.
This is The Divide.
And here we are, everybody. Welcome to The Divide on Fox Sports The Gambler, 102.5 Philly, 104.1 Trenton, and special for tonight on YouTube Live. We have a special live stream going on.
Yeah.
If you like and subscribe, we are partnered with Rita's.
Be cool, go to Rita's.
Be cool, go to Rita's. So like and subscribe on our YouTube stream with a chance to win a Rita's gift card.
It's pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy. And I was just looking at the
No.
Rita's website, and they got some cool stuff. I remember like years ago, when I feel like when we were younger, Rita's was like just straight Italian ice. Now it's Italian ice, custard, happiness.
Happiness. They got that new gummies. That's exciting.
Dude, the gummies, I saw
bears.
like the picture behind us.
Uh-huh.
I thought I saw some Oreos down there.
Yeah.
It just looks delicious. I'm like getting hungry,
Yeah,
man.
they had that pink Starburst one like
Mhm.
last year. I hope they
Mhm.
bring that back. I don't know. But there's never we're hitting baseball. We're hitting springtime
I was just gonna say that.
when Rita's is back.
Darn
You
tootin'.
know?
That's
And,
right.
darn tootin'.
Darn
All right.
tootin'.
All right, Ted Lasso.
Tell you, man, I'm into
Yeah.
season
Darn
3.
tootin'.
Darn tootin'. Yeah, I mean, listen, the ice cream man, Rita's, it's all synonymous with baseball, and we are one day removed from opening day. How was your opening day, Mike?
That was great, man. It started off. I knew it was going to be a pitcher's duel. We're up 3-0. Max is dealing. The pitch clock obviously played throughout the entire baseball day. It played a factor. I mean, I love the fact that catchers are now trying to pick off guys at first base.
Mhm.
Like I saw that
Mhm.
3 or 4 times today, and it excited me every single time because as a first baseman, it was the biggest throw ever. Like it's one thing when you have a pickoff coming from the pitcher, you can almost predict it, and the batter's like, all right. It's like it became like just the same old. But when I remember Frank Nolan, when I was on a tournament team, his dad was the coach and he was the catcher, and we would work on this play in his backyard nonstop to the point where that's why I made the tournament team, because I had such good chemistry,
Right.
And we were playing against a team in Tom's River. I'll give you a hint. We might know that guy that I was playing against, but we picked off a few base runners with the catcher. So the pitcher instantly throws the ball to home plate, like quick pitch. And the catcher just fires at the first, and the runner has no idea what happened. And I'm a lefty, so the glove hand just slaps him right down. It's so cool. So the game is back. The game is definitely back. It's different. The Yankee game was fun, but way too quick.
So that was one thing. The Yankee game was on at 1, driving home from work, or actually to a doctor's appointment. It was 2:45. It was already, we were through the 5th. So yeah, it was like a tight 2 hours and 15 minutes or 2.5 hours. It wasn't long at all for opening day. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking, you're not starting on time. Opening day ceremony. It was great. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
You could hear, I was listening to Susan and John while I was driving, and
Oh my God.
oh my God, you're not gonna believe who I have with me.
Roger Clemens.
Roger.
Yeah.
But no, man, great. Got some offense on the board. First at bat, Judge hitting a home run, just like you predicted, Mike.
No,
That's
the
what happens. Don't
exact
hate on it.
opposite.
Don't
Yo, I
hate on
still
it.
look. That's one. He's got 19 more to prove me wrong. So if you don't know what we're talking about, I want a little viral on our Twitter. So Flipping Bats podcast, Ben Verlander's venture. Obviously connected with the MLB network. They asked the simple question, give us your hot take, your MLB hot take that people would disagree with. And I said, Aaron Judge, less than 20 home runs for the season.
Terrible hot take.
It is a terrible hot take, but most hot takes are like you're predicting something that is abnormal.
Fair
you know?
point.
Yeah,
Fair point. When it
very
comes
fair.
to sports, because it's all about you trying to shock, and
Right.
then with the goal of it being so far fetched, it could actually happen.
But also, like if Judge signed with the Mets, that's exactly what would happen.
That's true. That's exactly.
And speaking of Ben Verlander, we lost his brother Justin
he's
today.
sore.
Yeah, his
Justin's
armpits are
sore. I'm sorry. I can't play till the 6th because I'm sore. Yo, bro, stop it. Like, again, do I have to make it? What was the point of spring training if your shoulder is sore?
It's funny because I first saw it reported by SNY, and I know we're very, very close to April Fool's Day. So I was like, it has to be a joke. You know what I mean? Because he did well during spring training.
Mm-hmm.
There was no question marks about anything with those two. The
Right.
1-2 punch of our rotation. There was other questions. Senga had ups and downs and blisters and other issues that he was running through. But nothing with Max or Justin. And so I was like, this has to be. So I actually, for the first time in my life, I took 2 minutes before I posted anything. And I was like, oh my God, this is real. And
yeah,
so,
I mean, it just so happens to work out that miraculously he's going to feel better for your home opener, and that's when he's going to get his start. So could this really be some shoulder soreness? Could he just be a little sore? They don't want to push it, and then they're just going to kind of push him to the home opener.
Mhm.
Whatever. I respect it.
I do too.
You gotta sell tickets. You gotta bring people in. Home opener last year was crazy. It'll be crazy this year for the Mets. Let's talk about not home opener, but at least the opener for the Phillies. Because I know you guys are dying to talk about that.
Yo, it's crazy. They were just from working in Philadelphia. Those first 4 innings, they were on cloud 9, man. It was like we're back in the World Series.
And then what happened? Tell me more, Mike. Tell me more.
I honestly don't know what happened because it was unbelievable. Like it was like autopilot to the point where like you're like, all right, the Phillies are gonna win. Mets are up like 1-0, 3-0 at the time, and you're just like, all right, they're up 5-0, and then they gave up 9 in 1 inning, and it just it didn't seem like it didn't seem like it was gonna happen, and then all of a sudden it happened, and it's Nola imploded, I should say, and DeGrom had a not so DeGrom outing, and
Nola ended up giving up 5 runs before they pulled him, and
so
he had 0 help from the bullpen,
right? But he had a 5-run lead at the time, 5-0.
Correct. So it ended up being 5-5. They yanked him out of the game, and the bullpen let up like another 6 runs. Like the next 2 guys that came in were just like, yeah, no, we don't have this. We're just going to continue to do what he did.
It's look, man, like so I had JT getting a hit. I had who else? Who was my Trey Turner?
Castellanos.
No.
Turner,
So I had I had Trey on their side, I had JT on their side, and then I had Corey Seager on the other side as my parlay, and it hit.
Yeah.
So I was happy about that. But this all hit in the 4th inning.
Right.
And I was just like, so I kind of turned it off after that, and next thing I know, they're out of it. But dude, you had people calling into Sean Brace's show, like just talking about like we're the team to beat, like this offense, we just don't quit. We're like, you would think it was game 6 of the World Series, and Brace was trying to bring him back to reality. Like, hey, like this is 162, literally 1 of 162. Like, let's calm down. And the next thing you know, they let the game go away. So I made a wager with Brace on Twitter, which is pretty hilarious. We are going to where the Mets and the Phillies to see who gets the 10 wins first. And it's whoever wins that 10th win. So in other words, if they're both playing at the same time and they're both up against their 10th win, it's sudden death. So whoever finishes first So whichever team in that standing shows for 10 wins,
Okay.
that guy wins. And
I like
the
it.
other one has to buy him a hobby box, and we
I
get
like-
to open it
ooh,
up on the air.
Hobby box.
Yeah, trading cards.
I
So,
like it. I
yeah.
like it. I appreciate Brace for keeping everybody in this reality we have here, but I you can't negate the fact that they put 5 runs up against the former Cy Young winner. I mean, he's still DeGrom. He
Yeah.
can still pitch. He took the easy way out. He took the money. He went to Texas. Of
Right.
course, he gave that BS when he did the press conference. Oh, I want to come here and compete. This is a team that I can see. Like, no, they're not. Sorry. And I know putting up 11 runs against a finalist last year, they're feeling pretty good. But sorry, Texas, that's not how your season's going to go. But I do want to say that, with Reese out, with Bryce out, and they're still putting up runs, 6 runs on the day. That's still impressive, especially for opening day. So
Alec Boehm was hitting.
Yeah, I mean, you
bombs.
got two to three guys with a multi-hit game already. So bats was something that everybody was kind of concerned about, at least me on the Philly side going in. Like, okay, how are they going to replace these guys that they're missing?
Right.
And they didn't skip a beat. So I still think Philly has every right to be confident and to really say, like, all right, this is us. We're going back. Like, yeah, you can, as long as you can keep your bullpen under control.
Mark Henry Jr. was talking so much smack about the Mets. It's ridiculous.
Really?
And as he's talking it, I'm watching the game. And like I always have, I'm editing, making graphics or whatever for our show. And I got the Gambler on. So I'm always listening, especially when I'm not at my other job. And, I'm just listening and I'm laughing. I was like, I just kept watching. All right, now it's 5-2. Now it's 5-3, 5-4. I was like, uh-oh. And this dude's just trashing us, like about us having a 40-year-old man now. By the way, his cell phone's cutting out the whole time because he's got like track phone or some crap.
T-Mobile?
Yeah, no, that's messed up. T-Mobile gave me free MLB.com.
Really?
Yeah.
I was
MLB
going to
TV.
bug you because the Yankee game started
Oh,
at
you
1,
wanted the passcode?
and I was still at work, and I
It's
was
funny.
like, oh, man, maybe I should bug Mike. But then an hour later, I left, so it wasn't.
Fun fact, I sent it to somebody else, and then I felt obligated to send it to a few other people, and I just assumed you already had it.
I do.
Yeah.
I have it saved on my TV at home, but not my work computer.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I found
You
some
could have texted
BS.
me, bro.
Yeah, maybe next time. Maybe
I
next.
should have thought of it.
Well, Mets played today, Friday.
Mhm.
Phillies and Yankees are off until tomorrow, Saturday. They did a nice little, just in case the weather's bad, let's play opening day and then, skip a day here. And actually, all of us play at 4 o'clock, either 4 or 5 or 4:15 on Saturday. Which that'll be a nice little.
No, it's fun. I like that. There used to be like a lot of times like you'd open, and I guess you're experiencing it still, and then you're off the next day. I hate that. And I know you just had your home opener. It makes sense because if it would have been rained out, then it would have been
Or
tomorrow.
snow. I mean, no, in New York, who knows?
But yeah, dude, that place was packed. Yankee Stadium. It looked very good on TV. Aaron Judge hits that home run in the first inning. You got to feel good about your team. You saw some stolen bases, won by your guy.
Where's my Volpe, John Jansen? Where's my Volpe?
So, fun story about Volpe. First of all, the kid, he was showing a lot of love all day in the stadium. I mean, even if it was a routine play, standing ovation. The crowd loved him. Hometown hero. Wearing number 11, which Brett, I mean, how do you fill Brett Gardner's shoes by wearing number 11? I mean, come on.
No, I'm just kidding.
But what's funny is I know it's pronounced Volpe. You know who wasn't pronouncing his last name Volpe?
Who?
Susan and John. They kept saying Volpe. You gotta love this Volpe kid. He's just getting all the love. I'm like, Susan, you're better than that.
We even knew
You're-
that
you're-
like literally, I wrote it even in the
Where's
notes
my
as
Volpe, John
Volpe.
Jansen? Where's
Phonetically.
my Volpe?
I'm looking at it right now.
what I love about Braces, Where's My Volpe, was I was cutting it and Peyton heard it. And she's like, it sounds like he's saying, where's my blankie?
Where's my Volpe?
He's gonna be that new security blanket for the Yankees, America. You just wait. You just watch. I can't wait.
It's funny because here's my take with the Yankees, dude. Every time you guys get somebody that you didn't pay for, or you actually, created in your farm system, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And you make it into a big deal, and it's not a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
To answer Brace's question, his Volpe is Reese Hoskins. His Volpe is Alec Boehm, who freaking was murdering the
I don't
ball today.
agree. I
And
don't
they're-
agree one
they're
bit.
they're just doing their things, and we don't make a big deal about it. He's number 11. He's your basic ass shortstop.
Well, I would say the big deal is he's like a Jeter. He grew up a Yankee fan
Yeah, he's
in
not
the
like a
area. He's a New
Jeter.
Yorker.
Let's
You know what I
relax.
mean? He was destined
You're
to
hoping
play
he's like
that
a
position.
Jeter.
I'm
Yeah,
just
Jeter.
saying the script is written,
Okay,
buddy. All right.
sure.
You tell me who plays for the Mets that grew up in Queens, huh? Huh?
Right now,
Yeah.
like not many, but he
That's
didn't
right.
grow up in the Bronx. Like, what are you talking
He
about?
grew up in New York, I think, right? Or
No,
Jersey.
Jersey. He's a Jersey guy.
Might as
That's
well have
not-
been the same thing.
May as well have
Jersey
been
and
the
New York are the
Bronx.
same thing, and you know it.
Yeah, it's a stone's throw.
He was a Bronx transplant.
It's like 4 hours on
His uncle and aunt live in the
on
Bronx.
the-
They're still there.
on the
Flatbush.
George Washington.
That's Brooklyn. I don't even know why I said that.
What are you talking about?
Oh, man. If you're subscribed to our YouTube live,
Also, you could argue like you could say that about Reese. He grew up in hitting bombs in Lakewood, bro. And actually, the guy who put the roof on this studio used to house him. So I should ask him if I
but
could talk to
where's Reese from?
I don't care. It doesn't matter. He's from the farm system of Philadelphia. It's
You know
a
what?
big deal.
No,
Pete Alonso.
you're wrong.
Like it doesn't matter.
Just
where he's
admit
from.
that you're wrong.
Pete's done more for 9/11 than most government officials. Like, you know, so Pete Alonso is a New Yorker. Like, you know,
What are you trying to do here? You trying to set me up to
I-
say some awful stuff here?
I know.
What's going on?
I don't know. But we're gonna take a break. But
We
we're
have to take a
not
break.
really gonna take a break because we're still gonna stick around with the people on YouTube.
That's
but-
right. YouTube Live, if you're subscribed, stick around with us during the commercial break. If you're not subscribed, get over to YouTube Live to find out what goes on during these commercial happenings. Coming up next, our friend Todd Frazier makes a bold statement. Size does matter. Here we're talking about next on the Divide Live. This is Fox Sports The Gambler.
The 4.5 inches is huge, bro.
Oh, my God.
Pretty cool. Thank you if you're still with us wherever you are on our socials. But yeah, please comment.
Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure
Whatever you want to do.
if you want that gift card and it's just one of you, you text your whole family. You tell them, look, you got to get on this thing and subscribe. Even if you think it's stupid, make up emails, subscribe to YouTube. You want that Rita's gift card. Who doesn't want a Rita's gift? Free Rita's.
Yeah,
You get
please.
free Rita's 2 times. You have the opportunity. First time was the first day of spring, where Rita's is free for everybody. Second time for this gift card. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. How many stolen bases did we get? That's what I want to know.
How many stolen bases today?
Opening day, yeah.
That's a great question.
It is a great question. That's all. I'm full of good questions. On opening day. I love it how Stroman got the first pitch clock violation.
But it was in his
Loser.
favor. Oh no, it was against
Nah, it
him.
was against them.
Stroh
You
pitched a
loser.
Today. The Cubs are
You
doing great.
loser,
Stop. Do not
Stroh.
talk. Whatever. We're going back just so I could start arguing with you again. He is not a loser. He's a
He's
a
a
monster.
loser.
He's
a
gonna-
loser, and you know, yeah, Yankee game 2 hours 33 minutes, man.
dude. It could have been less.
It could have been.
Your guy, the other Mancini or whatever his name is from Tom's River.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Will's
he-
cousin.
Yeah, he freaking was pitching like Steve Traxel or Jamie Moyer. Like it was like, yo, is there a pitch clock? Did they turn it off?
Yeah,
Because
what's
he was
going on
pitching
here?
so slow. But yeah, it could have been like 90 minutes that game. It was freaking rapid fire until he showed up.
Man, the Rays beat the Tigers in 2 hours and 14 minutes.
Mm.
It's going to get to a point to where you're waiting in longer. Like we're going to go to Queens one day, and we're
You
going
gotta
to
get there
wait.
for
in-
batting practice.
I'm just saying we're going to wait in traffic longer than the actual game's going
Oh,
to take.
that's disgusting.
I'm just saying. Remember the last time we went into Queens? It took us what 2.5 hours to get in,
Yeah, they let us park like in the middle of the street.
literally in the middle of the road.
Cops are just like,
Oh yeah,
"Do
no
whatever
one's
you
going to
want."
move it. We're like, all right. All right, let's
You're listening to The Divide right here on The Gambler.
Welcome back, everybody, to The Divide live on Fox Sports The Gambler. Don't forget to check out our socials. Those of you on YouTube live right now are definitely checking it out. But in case you're not, you can wander on over to YouTube live, like, subscribe, comment to win or for a chance to win a Rita's gift card. Also, check out our Instagram, Twitter handles, Divide Live, and Facebook as well.
Yeah,
It was a cool little commercial break.
it was
We
nice.
tried arguing a little bit, and you
Yeah.
were like, save it for the
You were a
end."
little muzzled.
You know what?
And what?
I
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth.
You know what's funny? Whenever I hit we're coming back from break, I'm always worried you're not gonna say welcome back. So I almost cut in, and then you remember to.
There
do your
have been
job.
times where I'm just
I know.
on a different world, in
Yeah,
a
you're
different
like,
planet, where I'm just like, oh, you
I
hit
don't
the
know what
button.
he watches on that. He's not using that laptop for informational purposes.
Well, remember the one time, I forget, like I had whatever article up we were going to talk about, and like, you know how like the news box will pop up, and it was like
You went down
some
a
like
rabbit hole.
mall fight
Oh,
between like
man.
two groups of people. I'm just watching people get beat up, and I'm like, Joe, I'm sorry.
So I think I'm killing it, and you're laughing, and it's not because of what I'm saying; it's because of what you're watching on your freaking thing.
I mean, hey man, the internet's crazy. I
I sent you that video of that guy that was teaching a class. He's like, raise your hand. That's you right now. Just so you know.
I sent that video
No, I want to know who you
to
sent
a
it to.
few people. It was great.
I cringe when I send it to you.
Yeah, but you knew I would like it. Maybe if no, we won't post that to our socials.
No,
That's just-
absolutely not.
That's just you can't do
you,
that.
You can't do
You
that.
can't do
That's
that.
how
Looking
you-
at the opening day scoreboard, guys,
Mm-hmm.
Mike and I were talking during the break. I mean, you got games that are 2 hours and 14 minutes thanks to
Yeah.
this pitch clock, amongst other things, but mainly the pitch clock.
The Philly game felt long. That felt like a traditional
Well,
game.
you had a lot of pitching
They,
changes.
well,
that's
they also
why.
had controversy, which
3
with the
hours and
pitch
4
clock.
minutes for the Philly
Like they
game.
had some argument or whatever, and they had to explain both teams. And I was like, "Hey, this is eating up the whole fact that we're not supposed to like." So it's counterproductive.
Guys are kind of going backwards on this whole thing now, but okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, the learning curve that's still going to come out of spring training
Huh.
is the explanation.
You're still doing spring break.
I am doing spring break explanation for balks, explanation for pitch clock violations, who did what, and all that other
I
goodness.
saw the JD Davis one. I saw the Stroman one. Yeah, dude, it was a fun day. But also, I saw a lot of stolen bases.
Stolen bases.
So at least activity on the base bats. And Todd predicted that. He has a huge prediction when it comes to stolen bases throughout the year. His theory that guys who did 35 might do 70 to 100 stolen bases this
That's
year.
insane.
I've never heard of that.
That's
But
insane.
also, let's let the man talk for himself.
All right.
Oh no. No.
Let him talk.
I haven't had a mistake in a while.
Trey Turner might have 70 stolen bases. I mean, listen, Eric, you should be happy about that. Listen, this is Cedric Mullins is it 34. These guys might even double their numbers. I think it's going to be really big. You guys might not agree with me. I think that the 4.5 inches is huge. Right? You get that. That's this. Bang, bang. Look, bang, bang, play. Say, no, here, out.
Bang, bang, 4.5 inches.
I'm telling you, man.
Bang bang.
Bang, bang.
inches.
There's nothing more sincere
Yo,
than Todd Frazier realizing he's going to say something that's so incredibly funny to our immature brains that he just starts
No.
laughing as he's trying to make his serious point.
he's a hero for all mankind right now.
He is.
Yeah.
I stand in solidarity with Todd.
4.5 is huge.
4.5 is
Right.
huge.
I'm a monster.
But it really is. I think his predictions are a little insane. You're not going to double your production of stolen bases just for an additional 4.5 bases.
I don't know.
4.5 inches.
I mean,
4.5
it's
inches.
4.5 inches. Dude, you've seen some of these replays. Like you said, a bang bang play. They're like every frame per second. So like now, like that cleat's gonna be there. You know what I mean? That finger is gonna be there. Like we're talking about inches. It's a game of inches apparently, and he knows what's big. So
I think that's the 4.5 inches is huge, right?
Yeah, he can't hold it together.
I wish I had that through college and everything. My buddy
that's
Todd.
The 4.5 inches is huge. Bro.
At a party, you're trying to convince some lucky lady. You're like,
Oh,
excuse me a second. Let me just.
You're looking yourself in the mirror and you're just like,
I think that's the 4.5 inches is huge. Bro.
The confidence starts with you.
it does.
It does.
You
It
gotta
has
look,
to.
you gotta look into yourself and ask yourself.
I think that's the 4.5 inches is huge. Bro.
Listen, in the quicker games, more stolen bases, more runs.
No.
I think opening day accomplished that. It did with the huge 4.5 inches. I know you can't stop laughing about it.
No,
It's just
I'm
too
laughing
much.
because it's quicker, 4.5 inches.
It's what everybody wants.
It's just crazy.
It's what everybody
I,
wants.
I guess. Like,
Oh
every
my
man wants,
God,
right?
Man. It's
Where's my Volpe, John Jansen?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's it. So we're done having fun. What I want to talk about real quick is one more time, your new guy. He's got a new number, like we talked about.
Anthony Volpe.
Yeah, Volpe. Where's my Volpe? He's number 11. He asked Brett Gardner for that number,
Correct.
which I feel like is touching if you're any ex-Yankee other than Brett Gardner. You know, is he also going to mess up the dugout the way Brett Gardner did?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Start banging on. Not if he
vandalized.
and he didn't get his first hit
Right.
opening day, and it'll come. I'll make a bold prediction and say Saturday is when Volpe gets
The
his
walk
first
was
hit.
productive.
It was. He capitalized.
Yeah, he stole a base. You know, it's pretty cool.
I like that he was able, like he called Brett and was like, "Do you care if I wear 11?"
Mhm.
Here's where I start to have a little bit of hate. Is there any chance the Yankees retire Brett Gardner's number?
Never.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
You're running out
So,
of numbers anyway.
I understand it's like out of
Right.
respect. You want to, hey, I was thinking about doing it. What
No.
if Brett was like, no?
Yeah.
You know what I
What
mean?
was he gonna
That's
say?
why I'm like, why are you
Yeah,
asking
yeah.
Brett Gardner? Like, there's
Yeah.
no chance. It's not like, oh, maybe. Like, he was a good player. I'm not. He played in the
Right.
majors. He's better than me. You know, he had
Yeah.
Brett Gardner. What are we talking about
I know.
here? Why am I trying to be all
Talking about,
sentimental?
like a utility slash like.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know what, Brett?
Yeah.
You got time. Come on the show and argue with
Yo,
us.
the most hurtful thing, the Mets, if you want to talk about them, they gave Nomo Gooden's number and they didn't even ask Doc. You know, like now, like you got Yankee guys asking about Brett Gardner. Like Hideo Nomo just shows up. He didn't ask for the number. They're just like, yo, you're 16 now.
It's at the bottom of the box.
Yeah.
Oh, here's an extra jersey.
They hand
Yeah.
out numbers all the time. During spring training one year, some guy shows up and he's a relief pitcher that didn't even make the club and he's wearing number 5. Like, and they're just like, oh yeah, that happens. Like, no, it doesn't happen. It doesn't.
It's not
like,
supposed to
yeah,
happen.
no Yankee spring training guys showing up wearing number 3. Like, you know, what I
Oh,
like
my
about
God.
Volpe's number is if 1 + 1 equals
2.
Oh, good job.
Thank you so much.
Look,
That was
and
amazing.
here I thought you were an idiot. No, but real quick, so it kind of ties into our next segment, and that's with Coach Prime, and he talks about jersey numbers, and I just want to share this clip real quick.
Share it.
The decision to have the kids earn their jersey numbers,
Yeah.
is there a story behind that, and what
No.
are you hoping that creates?
I'm old school. Anybody here over 45? Gotta earn stuff. Ain't nobody giving you nothing. We got kids, they ain't played a snap, you know, and you want to be one? You know what number 1 meant back in the day for us? That you were that one. Now you got number 1 getting the frame tore out of him out there on the field. Like, come on, you got to be crazy. Now it's a fight in the stands because the mama's wearing number 1 and her son, her baby's getting murdered out there. You know, like, come on. Like, it's just a new day. Single digits was something you had to be him.
I appreciate he said that
Yeah.
because it takes me back. Even when I played hockey, the last number that I ever wanted, I would always wear number 4. I did not want number 1 for that reason. Because you wear it and you have a bad game, like that will eat. The other team's going to let you hear it. Like that, it did. Like you said, it meant something. You didn't, the best player on that team would touch number 1.
Facts.
That's it. There was no argument.
So-
Because then the best player typically at a young age never really had a quote unquote bad game.
For me, for whatever reason, it was always 7. Like 7, 14 seemed to be like those 2 numbers seemed to be resonated with like our top or elite
Really?
guys.
Like
Yeah,
the
I
top
don't know
guys
why.
on your team. 7's always up because everybody's like lucky number 7. And
I guess I don't know, but what I will say is it kind of made me go through like this mental rabbit hole of, dude, the Yankees are running out of numbers. The fact that this guy has to wear Volpe has to wear number 11 just goes to show, like, what are you gonna do? Like, you definitely have to like reset it. So like, I was like, do they change the color and now it's like a new color of numbers or something? Like, are you really gonna have triple digit guys? Like,
no, I mean,
you're-
listen,
yeah.
you're not. I don't think we're close to running out of numbers. Like your
You're
popular
very
baseball
close.
numbers, though. But I
you're
mean,
all double digits now. Like Judge is literally 99.
I know, but it's not like someone's on the team wearing 80 right now. You know what I mean? Like we
Volpe
have,
was going to be 77 until
What-
he became 11.
but like there, there's
He's
a
asking Brett Gardner because you're already retired. Bernie,
But there's a combination of numbers out there he can wear. They're just
Yeah.
not traditional baseball numbers. So no one's
Yeah.
looking under
I
that.
get
You know,
that.
who's wearing number 69?
But you have
Let's talk
to-
about that.
or you just like kind of reset it and like, hey, look, we appreciate all these retired numbers. These are the elite of the elites, whether it's Jeter, Ruth, Mantle. Like, I feel like you've like, dude, you got to reel it back in. Like, I feel like the Yankees retired way too. Paul O'Neill's
I was just gonna
retired.
say,
Retired.
I love Paulie, but
I get that. I'm not arguing that.
Here's-
but when you have that much, like, there's a difference between like, I would argue everybody who's retired on the Yankees, if they played for Kansas City or they played for another team, they'd probably have their number retired. But you played for the Yankees.
right, and
So-
it was that the last 20 years
So
they
you're-
had so much, or let's just call it 30 years, they had
Right.
so much success, and that's why all of a sudden there was that wave of numbers retire. The one thing I disagree with,
Mhm.
good player or not, I think in order to have your number retired, and then of course we can argue the whole Babe Ruth thing and
Hall
all
of
that other
Fame.
stuff, is not just Hall of Fame, but like play with that team your whole career. Like Paul O'Neill spent half of his career for New York and he did great things. Don't get me wrong,
Right,
but
right.
you want to talk homegrown guy, a guy that came up like a guy, let's just say use Jeter as the example here. Cause
Fair.
he grew up farm system, Yankees his whole career, Hall of Fame, boom.
Yeah,
That's a
grew up or
retired
screw
number.
up.
You know what I mean?
agree.
Like that's,
Yeah.
those are your, but there's arguments to be made.
Either way. But one argument we're not going to make right now, before we go to break, MLB The Show added the Negro Leagues
Mhm.
into their game, and
Mhm.
I think this is huge. They have Derek Jeter pretty
Promoting
much
it. Yeah.
promoting it. It's awesome. It's well overdue. There's so many legends. If you read any stories or just go back into the Negro Leagues, there was so many guys that were better than Babe Ruth. There were so many guys that were so talented. They never got their day in the sun, and it stinks. So it's pretty awesome that now our generation and we could recognize that and kind of correct a wrong that happened year before we were ever born.
I mean, it's an educational piece. Like, I want to know, why is it taking this long to figure that out? You're taking a video game that these teenagers are playing. You're
Yeah.
taking a subject matter that they don't know about at
Yeah.
all. They're combining the two.
dude,
Dude,
and-
it's like the
yeah.
perfect storm. And now they're teenage kids or just any kids, so they're kind of dumb. They're learning and they don't know it. You know what I mean?
As a
Like,
video game loser, though, I checked up their attributes and they're right on par with
of
like
course.
the history, and I love that. I love
course.
that. Like, it's gonna be awesome. And like Jeter expressed how much Jackie meant to him.
Oh yeah.
Roy Campanella, like that story about his life,
Mhm.
like that was the first story book. It's not a story. That's why I fell in love with history. Like the fact of what happened to that man and how he came above it and how he was Mr. Brooklyn and a horrible car accident that occurred while he wasn't playing and the job he had, like he was a salesman and that's where he made most of his money. And that's what I do. So it kind of like spoke to me even now. And it's just bizarre. Like, what do you mean you're a professional baseball player? You should not have a care in the world except for baseball. And these guys, no,
They had to do everything
this
else.
was their hobby.
Yeah, they
and
had
then
to do everything
go
else.
to work. It's
Yeah.
kind of like when
Treat it like the
Peyton's
minor
talking
leagues.
about us later on.
Yeah.
This is our hobby, and then we
Yeah,
have to go to real work.
exactly right.
But
No, you're 100%
yeah,
right,
it's-
man. Good for, again, another thing that's good for the sport. It's great they combine the two. I love the fact that they have these guys promote and sharing their own stories to kind of make these guys interested in it. It's good all around. We got to get to a quick break. YouTube Live, subscribe, like for that chance. Leave a comment, chance to win a Rita's gift card. We'll be right back. We're going to talk some football in the next segment, so get ready for that. Maybe figure out this whole Lamar Jackson situation. Stay with us, Philly. We will be right back. This is Divide Live on Fox Sports The Gambler. YouTubers.
What's up, YouTubers?
What up, YouTubers? That's where I found the Yankee stream. Don't tell anybody YouTube. When I was looking for it, I was like, YouTube's. You know how like YouTube has like the people that do like I call them like these silent heroes. They just put like their webcam on like the TV and they just stream.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I think that's part of the reason why we lost one of our pages, Stuff About Sports, because we used to do that all the time, but then eventually it catches up and they complain. You got an extra 2 minutes, you could just stop it there. Right?
Yeah, no, we're good.
So we'll go to 47 on that.
We're a little bit over anyway.
Are we?
About a minute.
About a minute. So
but
cool.
Oh, you mean when we would do the Stuff About Sports and we'd have everything on in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally at the
we
draft.
would make posts and like it would be like a 10-second clip of some music and our socials would go crazy. Like we're trying to like what's his name from the drummer from Metallica and Napster fight. Like get out of here, bro. What's it, Lars Ulrich? Was that his name? Man. I don't know.
I during the whole like when the world got crazy and Trump got elected or whatever, and I was just like I did something with the Beatles, like life is very short, and there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friends. They shut that down quick. They were just
you don't mess with the Beatles, man. The Beatles copyright. That's
it's me, Paul. Take that down. So it's pretty crazy, but yeah. So we'll oh, thank you, buddy. Divide Live recording. That's us. Cool. So we got a bunch of people like tuning in throughout everything. So I appreciate all the feedback. We'll go through all the comments and we'll see who wins. This is our last segment, and then we'll call it a night.
Let's do it.
I almost hit the brace sneeze. I'm gonna hit it.
Bless you.
It's me, Mario.
It's me, Mario.
Dude, I'm lost here. Go.
Baseball season normally brings us together, unless you're listening to The Divide. Now, here's Mike and Corey.
And welcome back, everybody. Final segment of The Divide. I love now that we're using Movie Phone Guy or whatever his name is. And now the baseball plugs actually, because we've been doing the baseball plugs like all year. We don't care. We're like, whatever.
It's like, all right, here's the Super Bowl.
We have
baseball season. Like it could have just been an email to Brace, and we probably could have had 1,000 more.
That's all we literally we said it like 2 months ago. We just got to send an email for these new drops. Like we really need them. And we're like, you know what? It's almost baseball season. We'll just reuse it.
Shout out to Nick Pacone because he updated our pitcher, and then I realized like probably shouldn't have done that because now it's so I changed it to like the Philly skyline through a fence. Jerm made it for me. And I was like, yo, I love this. Like he sent it to me. I was like, I love this graphic. I want to use it everywhere. So then I send it to Nick. He gets it uploaded. And then like a day later, I was like, oh, baseball starts in a week. I should have just left the Divide baseball up, you know. So he's got both going. So it's kind of cool.
I like it, man. Send me that graphic. I need
dope.
A new background from my phone. Let's get into some football a little bit. Baseball is going to be here for a long time. You guys are going to hear us talk that talk. That's what we're good at. But
it's a game of inches.
It is a game of inches, 4.5 to be exact, but it's huge. I want to talk about this Lamar Jackson fiasco.
Gotcha.
And for a while now, we were on Aaron Rodgers' watch. Lamar Jackson kind of fell to the back burner. Aaron Rodgers, by the way, still not signed to any team.
No,
none. As predicted.
And the Jets are now the worst.
Jets
are the last team to be in the playoffs or whatever.
They have the longest playoff drought than any other professional sports team.
The Kings just made
because
it to
the Sacramento Kings just clinched a spot in the playoffs,
I'm a huge,
which is fantastic. fantastic.
Huge Rutgers fan. When they drafted Quincy Doobie, we were like, this is awesome. And then we realized the Kings were terrible. And it was just like, oh my God. So Quincy Doobie, shout outs to him. Awesome Rutgers basketball player. My brother and I loved him. Terrible NBA player.
Lamar Jackson got into this Twitter beef
Okay.
with the Falcons owner,
Mm-hmm.
Arthur.
Yeah.
God, what is his name?
Arthur
Blank.
Yeah.
Arthur Blank. Basically, Arthur Blank sounded off not on behalf of the owners, but he had said what all owners want to say, and the reason that Lamar Jackson's not getting as many looks. And it just he's basically said, looking at this objectively, I'd say there's some concerns over how long he can play his style of game. Blank explained to reporters, hopefully a long time, but he's missed 5-6 games each of the last 2 years. Each game counts a lot in our business. And he said that because Jackson has said numerous times he wants a fully guaranteed contract.
Okay.
Which is insane for a football player, a quarterback nonetheless, that is very injury prone. And I get it. He's played this style because Baltimore has not had the receivers to complement someone that has the athletic ability and the throwing arm of Lamar Jackson.
So I don't understand why it's not guaranteed. Like if we agree to a contract that normally it's guaranteed, right? That's the idea of a contract.
He wants a fully guaranteed
right. So get it insured. Like I like from a baseball mindset, I'll never understand. Like Justin Verlander's down. We just paid him $70 million. You know what he's not gonna have to worry about? His contract. You know, if he never pitches for the Mets, we're somebody's still paying him that money. It's not Steve Cohen after he hits a certain day period. Diaz right now, like everybody's laughing that we wasted money with him, but like I said, it's insured. So, and that goes same thing with Reese Hoskins right now. I'm pretty sure that's insured, even though he's still on like a club friendly contract. So, I come from a realm where they're all guaranteed. And obviously baseball is the biggest and probably best players association in all of America or probably the world, but I don't get it. I agree with him. And maybe he's doing what Boomer Esiason did 20 years ago or 30 years ago for the sport. And he's kind of laying on the sword for guys to get paid. I don't understand.
I don't think they'll ever get paid, though. I think football's not that sport, fully guaranteed and insured in baseball is going to look a lot different than football. And I don't know all the details. I guess I should probably brush up.
There needs to
job,
be, there's two things ruin the sport. Like NFL, it's the non-guaranteed contracts, right? So players could sit there during if they don't like their contract, they could ride a bike during practice in summer camp or whatever, and that's hurting the sport. And then NBA, they just don't play. They just say they're injured and they demand a trade. So they got to find what baseball has done. Like I think we don't run into those issues, and for whatever reason, and maybe because it's like it's such a strong players union, and they kind of
Yeah, I to that note, I mean, football is just there. It's football. I think you gotta compare.
Do you think that players would take less money if it was guaranteed? You see what I'm saying? Because we're talking about like some of these guys are going to hit. Some of these quarterbacks might hit over $500 million. How much of that's going to be guaranteed? You bring up.
But
also, like, how hurtful is that? Like you give your best 4 years to a team, and then on that fifth year, because it wasn't guaranteed, they just drop you.
Mm-hmm.
That's hurtful too.
Yeah, it's business.
Fair. I get that, but that's not real business.
But I just
that's
think
advantage owner.
Well, it's always
advantage owner.
Even in a non-sports world,
advantage player.
But even in a non-sports world, it's always advantage owner. Right. You have a poor performance of a year, you're on the chopping block just like everybody else.
If I have a contract with a company for 4 years, and on the third year they decide to get rid of me, I'm getting some type of parachute compensation to leave.
And who's to say that these guys aren't? I mean, their compensation is their millions of dollars to play the game just because they don't get picked up for an extension. I just think the writing is on the wall a little bit more with football as far as how much of a business this really is, or your modern day gladiator type
is a
BS.
gladiator thing. I
Right.
mean, like even from the fact that these owners send people out to watch people in their underwear and decide which ones they're going to draft. Like
Yeah, man, it's super
it-
creepy when you describe it. Like
it's-
that.
exactly. That's what we're talking about. Like people, this will be the version of gladiators 100, 200 years from now. Be like, yo, these weirdos for tenths of the dollar would go out there, bust their humps, become that brand, and then not get paid to be that brand when they're dwindling. You know,
Before you
I
know
don't
it, they're doing
And
Julian
the
Edelman
franchise
T-Mobile
tag
commercials.
is the most hurtful thing I've ever heard of. Like
that. That I agree with you on that. I was going to use an example, but I don't want to get too controversial there. That's
hurtful.
modern day.
It's so hurtful. It is. It's just like that should not exist. That's the Cowboys owner created that one.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, but
Sure, if you guys can read between the lines of what we're saying here,
yeah, we're not even using names.
or not, but you should know what it's modern day something, all right. But
Yeah.
we're not going to explicitly say
Modern day advantage owner.
that. That's advantage owner.
Yeah.
I think the fact that the market has been so quiet on Lamar Jackson, and there are plenty of teams, Atlanta included, that are desperate for a quarterback. I'll even throw Miami in there. Tua is one hit away from his brain being mush for the rest of his life. There are plenty of teams like the Jets, Green Bay now, because Aaron might not end up at the Jets, but he's not going back to Green Bay. There are at least 5 or 6 NFL teams that are hurting for a quarterback. And the fact that none of them are really in serious negotiations for Lamar Jackson, that's huge. We would rather play with a no-name that's going to probably help the organization win 2 or 3 games than a franchise quarterback that could turn your season around and take you to the playoffs.
Yeah.
That just goes to show where, the power of the almighty dollar here, people. It's unreal.
It's absolutely unreal. And I think that when you kind of look at it and you just figure out, like, I want to defend the player as much as I can, because you're talking about a billionaire and a millionaire.
Oh, of course.
And then you're also talking about a guy who just, and then I look at like owners like the Phillies, like they have a great owner. The Eagles have a great owner, and they care about their players, and people want to keep playing. Kelsey, when he said he was going to resign and play one more year, like they're popping champagne, and the guy's so appreciative to have him there. So if that was the relationship of all these owners, like I wouldn't have a problem with what was going on, because like the player loves to be there, the owner loves their player, and money can't buy that.
Correct.
Steve Cohen today sitting in Miami with the 7 line, that was pretty freaking cool. The swinging and dang it guys playing golf to raise money for the Mila Foundation. That's freaking awesome. And by the way, today is the last day. Danielle, Mays, and the Moose, they're giving away an unbelievable trip. All you got to do is join, and by tomorrow to our swinging and ding it golf event.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
And you get into the running of winning this amazing trip. So look it up.
Maybe
Go
we
to
should do a
Swingin' and Ding
little
It.
bargaining here. Maybe a little Rita's gift card for a trip there. A little exchange between shows.
No. But look, yeah, it's dude, good people make these situations better. Bad people make them harder. And I think that's the situation we're looking at. There's a lot worse owners out there than the ones I just spoke about.
Yeah, I think like Mike said, man, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have.
Facts of life. That was the dumbest thing I've ever
It's
heard.
the first thing that popped into my head when you said you take the good. I couldn't get it out. That's where my
the 4.5 inches. He's feeling right.
All right. If you haven't already, head over to our YouTube, like, subscribe, comment. By Tuesday, Mike and I will pick a winner for this Rita's gift card, guys. Don't forget to check out our social media platforms other than YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, The Divide Live. Interact with us there. Send us some things. You want us to cover something, or you have questions, you send it right there. We will hit you back. We talked a lot of crap I'm getting Brett Gardner on. I want to talk to Brett.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I want to know if he really
I
wanted to
feel
give
like
number
that
11 to
would
Volpe.
Bert would appear in studio if that happened.
Bert would be knocking at the. Bert loves Brett.
Bert
Gardner.
might show up in his remote. Like, so we had Gardner
Maybe
remote.
Bert in a Gardner
Bert would be in
jersey
the
with a bald
background.
cap. That's what it's gonna
Hey
be.
guys, just happened
I'm
to be
Brett
here.
Gardner. I'm super fast. I'm Brett Gardner.
Yeah, Corey's brother is obsessed with Brett Gardner. If you
Dude
don't know
loves
that,
Brett Gardner.
But yes, also go on YouTube, search Fox Sports The Gambler, subscribe to our YouTube page. We're trying to grow this thing. Sean Brace is an amazing program director.
He's all right.
We're getting into the social media phase of this, and we're going to help grow it. So thank you, Sean, for helping us partner up with Rita's to give our fans
Oh yeah.
a free Rita's gift card. It's huge. So go ahead, subscribe, comment, and be in the running for some free ice.
That's right. We'll be back next week with a current update on all of your favorite MLB teams and who should hit the panic button, plus some more sports, comedy, banter. Guys, have a great week. We are out. We will see you next week.
Peace.